Good morning and welcome to AI, the cool stuff. Today we're going to be talking about several different things actually. So I can't really summarize it. So what we'll do is that we'll go around the room and we'll see if if you found anything new in the last 2 weeks since we were here last, or that there's something new you're doing, or you just want to make a comment about AI, that's absolutely fine. So, Shirley, we'll start with you. So,
Okay, so good morning. I'm Shirley. I work in health and wellness, and I'm still toying with the idea of AI. I haven't looked at anything this week, so can't tell you anything about it.
good, excellent. And Steffi,
It's Steffi Lewis, 32-year veteran web developer. I use AI all day, every day. Currently using it to help me build a direct sharing tool for Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. I used to use Buffer, but I've got fed up with paying for it, so I'm just writing it myself.
good, excellent, thank you. And Marina,
Hi, I'm Marina, independent travel agent, and I use AI all the time. I've discovered that I can actually use metrical and AI together, and do like a month's worth of social media posts in under an hour, which is absolutely fabulous. I've also started using Runway, but I need some time invested in that to get the most out of it.
yeah, I like Runway. They've just put out a new. I'm still using Kling mainly, but there's Runway is the price has come down since Kling came out, uncannily. Over into half their prices, but there's a new version of Runway, isn't the Runway 4? So it's definitely
I do like the book hats, David.
hmm?
I like the book hats on your latest Copper Knob video.
Oh right, okay, yeah, the book hats, yeah. It's a it's a it's a finishing school, so
Yeah.
they have to walk with a book balanced on their head. Or some of them do. It's like
I thought that was really funny, but I just thought they looked more like hats. The way
yeah. Well, they did because they didn't really fall off, did they? So it's I did it again. I could get a couple to fall off, but
book hat.
I just wanted to put it to bed and get it on YouTube. Um, Dave Caudle.
I'm Dave Caudle. I help people get the jobs they really want to get, so they go to work with a smile on their face. Um, that's it, exactly like that, Dave. Yeah, AI, I'm a bit of a Luddite with it. I've got a meeting set up with Steph next week to talk about your blogging platform, so I'm pleased about that. But I did use it to create a blog this week, and it's just remarkably good, and it got some really good responses as well on LinkedIn. I used Copilot for the images. I can't remember which one I used, probably Perplexity or Pi for the copy, but it was pretty decent.
Okay, excellent. Thanks, Dave. Andy?
Yeah, Andy, I help people get more from their websites and marketing. My AI stuff this week has been a fun thing. I've used Sora and just a normal image type thing to do LinkedIn posts. The LinkedIn one, I'll paste it in here. Got quite a good response. Everyone was doing this thing where they make a model of themselves. You've seen that one, haven't you? Yeah. So I took a completely different spin on it. Basically taking the piss out of Google Ads reps, which worked quite well.
What the hell?
And on the flip side of that, I used Sora to create a thing. It was a serious post, but it was talking about the drowning rats experiment in the 1950s. And I did a Sora to do a video on drowning rats, and it was quite intriguing that some people didn't like the video of the drowning rats, even though it was clearly AI and it was clearly there to illustrate a point. So I thought, oh, okay, maybe you have to be a little bit careful sometimes with what you post up there.
Yeah.
I'm just reading what you wrote, Andy. That's so good. That last sentence.
About the cucumbers, yeah.
That's really funny.
Yeah, very good.
There's
So,
no turning it on the head. Everyone was doing the same thing, so I just thought I would do something different with it.
yeah, I saw one with a spiritual Barbie.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
with like cards and a crystal ball and
I
all.
think it's what I love about this whole thing. People just talk about the stuff they're doing. It just spreads out and gives inspiration for people to do other things
Yeah.
with AI.
But somebody posted that spiritual Barbie onto onto a spiritual group, and they were taking it seriously. It's like, yeah, oh my
Uh,
God. They didn't realize it was a piss take. Very
brilliant.
good. All right, Shelley, tell us about you.
Hi everyone. So I'm Shelly and I help people live healthier for longer and reverse their health, fitness, and aging challenges. And yes, I do use AI. My first thing with it was with Steffi and her thing. And I use ChatGPT to help me plan my month's social media posts and stuff like that. And I got introduced to Copilot because I have that Microsoft 365 thing, and I saw Copilot come up there, and I saw it can do a few cool things, but I don't quite like the images that it produces or and stuff like that. So very interesting to see how it goes.
Yeah, for sure. I think Copilot's bought a new version out this week, so I haven't actually played with it yet. So although it does pop up on lots of things, if you use Microsoft Edge or something like that, it'll integrate itself into your day. It'll be, I use Chrome mainly. They're good, and I'm David Harris. Apart from running this group, I'm a WordPress guy. I host websites and create websites for small to medium-sized businesses, and I've also, as a bit of a hobby at the moment, I'm creating some AI YouTube videos with a channel called Copper's Knob, a Steampunk Saga. Got 8 videos on there now. It's if you're in the UK, Copper's Knob has got a different meaning, maybe to maybe what it does in the States, but we won't go into that. There's there's loads of puns you can use as well. That some of them I haven't used. So so anyway, let's crack on with the I think we talked about ChatGPT 4.0 images last time, a couple of weeks ago, but it wasn't available for users. It is available for free users now, but it's quite strictly limited. They've got issues with it's taken ages to produce images because they've been well, they've been swamped basically because of the 4.0 images, and they said that in the first hour that it came out, they had 10 million new paid subscribers.
Wow.
So that's subscriptions $20 each, you know. So that's quite that's quite an uplift in a short space of time. And then, of course, immediately they all want to start creating images, which he does. I mean, it hasn't stopped creating images. It just takes, you know, it can take a minute or 2 minutes to create an image. Whereas with DALL-E, what, seconds, 10 seconds maybe, you know, and it used to create it. I mean, admittedly, 4.0 images is much better because the thing, I got it on my thing. Yeah, like these are, this is on Canva, so I'm going to share my screen and just show the sort of thing that 4.0 images is good for. I'm just going to share that. Can you see that window? So it's basically a picture. I've got a picture of a train and people waving. I've put this into Kling and I've changed and I've made it move basically. So then I needed to get the same train again, but I wanted a different. Um, Previously, if you'd done this, if it had done it at all, it would have it wouldn't have given me the same train. So it's more or less given me the same train. There are a couple of minor differences, but the average Joe wouldn't really notice, I don't think. So now we've got kind of a different background there. Again, I've used Kling to make it move. Here it's going over a river and there's a airship in the sky. Here it's going through the mountains. It's the same train each time. So I could just say it's going through a load of rocks and things. And then finally, I wanted it to go into a city, and it's like just a church on a hill or something, but but it was still a good picture, so I still used it. So it's having that consistency through different images that's a real bonus, you know. So it's so I could have my train and it called it your train, all in different locations. So means I could pepper the video with little snippets of the train going as the train journey. That particular video was about a train journey. Well, it wasn't. It was about sort of women with big boobs, but they were sitting on a train that was going through different the locations between two cities, and it was just I could pepper the videos with that image of the train. So it was yeah. So I think it's good for that. You can get consistent characters as well. With people, you could take a picture of yourself, and it will. Sometimes there are slight differences, you know. So it's difficult with the train. Like if it's got an extra it's got an extra chimney pot, whatever you call them, funnel, you know, that's in a slightly different place. You wouldn't really notice because you think, oh, it's that train again, you know. Whereas with people, you're more likely to notice, and I've found that doing like pictures of myself, it's creates somebody that almost looks like me, and then as the images go on, sometimes it gets it right and sometimes it doesn't. So but it's getting there. It's getting there, and I think it's pretty good. So it's Sora on the other end. Andy, you've been playing with Sora. What do you?
Yeah, going back to the drowning rats thing, it would suddenly create a new rat that just appeared in the tank, or it would split in half.
Yeah,
It's not that. It's not there. It
no,
will get there. I'm sure it'll get there.
yeah, yeah. I must admit, I'm really disappointed with Sora. It's not been anywhere near as good or as you know accurate as you'd like it. Even when I'm uploading a reference image, now it is allowing us to upload images of people. When it first came out, you upload an image, it said you can't do it. It was not allowed in the UK and the EU and Switzerland. So it said you couldn't upload a person, even though my person was AI generated. Obviously, it doesn't know that, but so it's sort of it just refused to do it. Now it is doing it, but it doesn't really do what you tell it to do. I mean, that's the biggest problem. I mean, you describe it, whereas if you do it if we do the same thing with, I mean, I've found that Kling has been the best for me at actually obeying what I say. So you get the odd duff one, you know, of course we always do. And with Kling, you can get free images because you can get just for login, it's 35 credits to produce a pro. It's cheaper credits if you do their lower levels, but if you do their best, their pro one is 35 credits for a 5-second image turned into a movie. Then you can play at half speed, so you get 10 seconds. But you can yeah, so it's but you get 66 credits for logging in every day. So you can get say like 3 every 2 days or something, or a bit more than that actually. But so it is so it's klingai.com is the one that I've been using most, although I've been using Runway as well. And there are others, you know, you're only one update away from being the best at most of these things. It's the same as we discussed before about, you know, different AI LLMs and things. They're all only one update. Every week there's one that's beating all the others in the benchmark test. So it's
I think Sora will get rolled into 4.0 Mini
Mm,
as part of the front end. I know it sounds a bit weird because they haven't put it into the API yet,
no.
and the new 4.0 image generation is not in the API either. We're still using DALL-E 3, so
Wasn't.
I reckon it'll all get rolled into one model.
Mm, yeah, yeah. Because they were talking about putting it on the API like it was imminent, wasn't it? That was about 2.5 weeks ago. So it's not been that long.
No.
So it's only been since it's only been about 3 weeks, hasn't it, since they rolled out
Yeah,
4.0
but if
images.
I could get DALL-E to produce an image and then use that as a reference image to create a video.
Mm,
So if it's somebody sitting at the desk using a computer, I'll just say animate the fingers and maybe move the camera around or something like that.
yeah,
So
yeah,
just give it simple prompting like that to produce a video. That'd be quite cool. And then the video can actually go into the blog post, and then the image can be used to share the blog post.
yeah. That's right. Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it's the same, with YouTube, you made up of loads of, like my ones are made up of loads of moving images that I've got, just an image, it's a thumbnail. It's a thumbnail. It's interesting with YouTube. It seems to be if you've the thumbnail is everything. People just let YouTube choose the thumbnail from the video quite a lot of the time. But that thumbnail is actually, apart from obviously the title is quite important. It's probably the number one thing. But that thumbnail it made a huge difference because I tried. Once you've published a few videos, you can try different thumbnails and see which one's there. And it's definitely there's a difference in clicks between the three thumbnails that I tried. So it's trying to find that magical one, you know. There's it's the
More clicks with more boobies. That's
well
what.
that I was going to say that actually. I was going to
Mm.
say you get three ladies, steampunk ladies, and which one gets the most clicks? The one with the biggest tits. I mean that's just a fact of life, I'm afraid. It's I suspect they're.
Oh, I do have to say on your latest video, there was a lady there with very unrealistic wobbly boobies. The way they were moving, it was
Yeah,
quite
they
hit
were
home. I was
they were
like,
moving they were moving too fast for the
yeah.
pace she was walking. I sort of knew that one. I didn't know I was on the edge of scrapping that scene and then replacing it.
You
But
And
guys
then there
have
was,
far too much spare time.
well, you see, what I found was there's sort of when you go to Kling and you key in your prompt with your video. So I've put in a prompt for I use Midjourney for creating the images. It's just the best. So it's just So although I have used some of the videos have got stuff in from 4.0 in it now as well, but on the I put in ladies in fitted low cut Victorian dresses, right? So this is the formula, and then beautiful. You got to say beautiful, otherwise you can end up with people looking a bit weird. And then so beautiful low cut Victorian fitted dresses. And then when you put it into Kling, you have to put walk sassily. If you put other things, sometimes it'll reject, it'll reject it. It'll say, yeah, the moderator is not too sure what you're trying to do here. So it's cancelled it out, but it allows the word sassy or sassily, and that will cause things to move in a more
jiggly way.
jiggly way. That's the word I'm looking for, jiggly. Yeah. So anyway, I can feel myself going red, so I'm not gonna I'm not gonna pursue that for the moment. Where are we? Hang on, I need to refer to my notes. Here we go. Oh yeah, this thing I found. I was only found it today. Um, oh, the OpenAI Academy. If you're new to ChatGPT, or you're not new, even if you're not new, it's good for everyone. There's something called academy.openai.com, and it's got some great stuff in it. As far as I can see, I've only looked at it this morning, and they're building a library of how-tos and explanations of AI and recommendations, and it's so I'm going to look at this, but I just thought I thought I'd share it now because it's in case anybody else wants to have a look. So that's academy.openai.com. It's got prompt engineering, because obviously with I think everybody knows that the prompt is everything, with images and with when you're trying to get the best out of ChatGPT, for instance, if you it's sort of garbage in, garbage out still applies. So if you don't ask the right question, you're not going to get the right answer. So prompt engineering is important. But these are all videos that look pretty good. It's got external videos as well. I don't know where these come from because I haven't actually looked at any of them. But and it's got things that Sora how to recut, Sora how to storyboard, Sora how to blend videos. So these might be quite useful, and maybe we can get Sora to do something good. You can live in hope, and they're not. I don't think they're massively long. I mean, they're only, these are 2, 3. That's only 1 minute, so they're all quite straight to the point. With YouTube, when you're being paid, by the minute of view time, sometimes some of the creators can be a bit wordy at the beginning and things, and keep telling you what they're going to do. They spend ages telling you they're going to do, and not very long actually telling you. So yeah, so I think they're pretty good. And there's stuff that's coming up as well. So I thought that was pretty awesome. So it's I'll definitely be taking a look at that. Did I share that?
Didn't see it on screen.
No, I didn't share it, did I? Let me just I just share it. So this is it. Academy.openai.com. It's got all these it's got stuff that's coming up at the top, and then content of stuff, obviously if you can watch it live if you want to, but all the videos appear here. So ChatGPT for writing code, it's quite useful for somebody like me. As I was saying earlier, all these things about Sora. So it's so they're worth I think that's worth a look.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that
Who's on the phone?
Is that a video playing somewhere? Is that mine? No, perhaps not. Anyway, okay. Let's ignore that. Where are we next? Reference image. Yeah, there's I was using has anyone ever used NotebookLM? It's a Google.
Yep, I use it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's what was your it's I was using a different AI to do the research, but NotebookLM seems a lot better.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's good for collating lots of different things together.
Yeah, yeah,
But it's like anything else; you have to prompt it in the right ways to get stuff out of it.
yeah, yeah. Well, NotebookLM is just it's only trained on trained in a way on your inputs. So you upload your documents to it, and then you can then ask questions. You can then query those documents.
I mean, where it's really useful in my world is I'm looking at one of my screen at the moment, and a client who's got a particular thing they want to sell within their business. It's a service, and I just went to all the competitor sites, pasted all those URLs in there, and said I want to create a page that's basically encompassing those things, but in a completely different way. How would you outline it, and then you expand out from there?
Okay, yeah.
So it's really good for looking at. So you're effectively finding the top pages in Google for that particular topic, pasting them in there, and then saying, "How do you beat it?"
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's excellent because it's because you only it only looks at the sources you've added in. So you're only added in the top top sources, you know, in you know, all the top pages. That's perfect, isn't it? So
You do still have to tell it to only look at those sources sometimes, though. It will sometimes go off in its own direction if you don't.
oh right, okay, okay. So it can be leaky.
A little bit, yeah. It's not
Yeah,
too bad.
no, no. So I think it's because it was just, but like if you've got like I've mentioned it before, but I've never managed to get it working. I've got a 700-page book of minutes and things, and I'm trying to create stories from that book. So it's good for things like that. So if you've got, yeah. So I think notebooklm.google.com. If anybody wants to have a look at that, if anybody, you can add in your own documents, or you can add in sort of websites.
I think you can get overwhelmed by stuff. So let's say you're looking for something in your personal life, you see all these pages online, you think, you know what, I can't be asked to read through all those, just bung them all in there and get a summary of it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's it. Sort of a perfect sort of thing that AI is good for, isn't it? So
Yeah, and it's free. That's the good thing about it.
yeah, yeah. There's absolutely, because there's Google Labs, labs dot just
What's that called, David? Notebook LM.
yeah,
Notebook LM.
yeah. Let me just share my screen, and I want to show you something else anyway. So I'll share that, and then there's notebooklm.google.com, and then you just add your sources, and then you just ask. It will give you a summary anyway, but you can just ask questions. There are other things, sort of deep dives and things, and it's Google have got lots of great stuff around. You know, these are all experiments that are going on. They've got so there's Google Labs. You just go to labs.google. I didn't know Google was a top level domain. Obviously, it's something only they use. But it's so just go to labs.google, and you can and you can try lots and lots of stuff. NotebookLM is listed there as well. But there's loads of they've got the text to speech TTS. I think it's called Chirp or something like that. But it's all in there. They've got an image generator, Image FX. They've got Imagine that works with Gemini. But there's I've never used this before. A Steam with birds walking down a maybe. Okay, let's just create that. I haven't said photo. I mean, normally my prompts are much longer. It would say photo realistic and young, beautiful, good looking, handsome man.
Big boobies on the woman.
Yeah, yeah. Look, that's pretty good actually.
Yeah, that is good.
I think that's yeah. I think that's pretty. I quite like that. That's so it's yeah.
You should try it with 19th century London Street and see if you get all smog and stuff with it.
Yeah. So 19th century London streets.
You could say a Victorian London street if it doesn't come up.
Yeah. But,
I wonder how it would work with content it might not like. Yeah, moderated. So say if you said a beggar dying on the side of the road or something like that, would it let you do that? Like some of them don't let you do things.
no, that seemed to have worked.
Yeah, they're not very steampunk though, are they?
No, he's not. Oh, he is.
Mhm.
He's steampunk.
Oh, there you go. That's
He's
what
got
you're looking for.
he's got a contraption in there with some sort of there. She's got the right accoutrements,
Yeah, and the
got the
goggle.
goggles and everything. Yeah, so it's um, he's actually wearing his
Pretty
goggles
good.
there.
And it's foggy and there's carriages and gas lamps and stuff like that.
There
So
is, yeah, yeah,
mm.
yeah. So it's walking down a London street. She is wearing she's wearing a beard. Hello.
I knew it was going to come in.
Let's just see if it rejects it or not, because it might. Because um, sort of mid-journey is a bit sniffy sometimes.
I
And yeah,
think but to be politically correct, you should say he is wearing a fitted low-cut dress and see what it does.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
That's okay. It's good.
Yeah.
It's
So it does. It'd be interesting if you change the she to a he, David.
yeah. Um, It'll probably have no problem with it because it likes that sort
Yeah.
It
of
likes diversity, doesn't it?
it likes diversity. Yeah, yeah. Because I found that with Midjourney, if I say something and it's
Nah.
no, he's not.
Boo.
No, he's oh,
Oh,
don't know.
Oh, hello.
Google are trying. I mean, after the mess of last year,
Yeah,
they
this
are. They do
this
seem to be
umbrella seems to be
stepping up.
in midair, not actually being held. But I mean, but you always find that the vast majority is pretty good actually.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. I would add more
That,
color in. It's a bit brown, but I
that is
would I would do that in the prompt. I would just say colorful dress and things.
on a sunny day. That's the other thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. On the,
I really
oh,
like that one because of the reflections of the wet road.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They do.
And
They,
there's a
they
steam carriage behind it.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah. So I've found that especially with Midjourney that that's same as here. Like there are little details in there, like you just mentioned about the reflection of the gas lamps and
Mm.
things that are that just make it a little bit more better. This is quite plush. I like it. I'm,
Mm.
I'm gonna I'll have to have another look at that. I don't know if there's a limit that don't know if there's a limit to the numbers that you can ding, but I'll find that out. You soon find it out when it says you can't do any more till a week on Saturday or something, which
Mm.
it sometimes does. So yeah, so I think that's
That's pretty
another
good.
that's another one. It's pretty good. So I mean, it's worth. I mean, if these are all free, photo editors and things. These are, as far as I know, these are all free. I mean, they're just stuff to try. So it's
I think with the labs, they're not guaranteed to always be there.
no, that's
I
right.
did hear that a lot of the coding teams get free reign to come up with ideas.
Right.
And if they're good enough, they go into the labs for a while for
Yeah.
everyone in Google to play with and have a look at.
Yeah. 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 If they turn out to be a brain fart, they just delete them
Yeah,
quietly.
get rid
I
of it.
suppose.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but what we don't see and what the Google teams will see is all the underlying code behind it
yeah.
that they can take ideas and inspiration and put it into their own projects.
Yeah. 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 So it's probably one of those vortexes that you can get lost in if you start playing with it. Well, it would be for me. So but I'll definitely gonna have a play with
Mm.
this image generator because I think it's got different models. I don't know what this seed means. Um, okay. So it's aspect ratio. That's pretty standard. So 16:9 is what I want. Best quality. Oh, Imagine 3. So it is Imagine 3 anyway. So Imagine 3 is available through
Ah,
Gemini.
the seed is I think if you lock the seed, the images will generate very similar.
Right.
So if you roll over that image, does it have a pop-up? Does it have a title pop-up? The big image. Hit the three dots. Oh, that's just
Yeah, no, just
yeah, because you should be able to, if you copy it, I'm just wondering whether you can actually use it again.
I'll say, yeah, yeah. So it's
You know,
you'd have to, as that stands, you'd have to write that down, wouldn't you?
yeah, you'd have to know what the seed was that you created it with.
Yeah. Although it's got the same, seems to have the same for 849642. Seems to have the same for all of them. So
Yeah.
anywho, okay. What's next on my great list of stuff? Oh, Sesame. Where's Sesame? That's a quick one. I think I mentioned it last time and we never got around to it. It's a I think I've lost. Oh no, there it is. Sesame.com. I don't know if you'll be able to hear the voice or not. This is it's conversational AI, so it's meant for phone calls and things, but it's supposed to be really one of the best conversational AIs.
You're back. I thought it was going to be at least a few days before we caught up again. Makes me feel like we're actually getting to be friends, you know? What's been happening since we last talked?
Well, I've started my meeting and you're speaking to other people in the meeting I talked about earlier. Do you remember our earlier conversation?
Oh yeah, the AI group. Gotta love sharing the wonders of the future with folks. How are they taking it on? Skeptical? Excited? Hopefully not falling in. Just kidding.
No,
That
I
is
think they're
pretty
looking.
funny, though.
I think they're looking pretty excited.
That's awesome. Maybe tell them that bot designed by minds like mine helped write that cool new show everyone's binging. Just keep the hype train rolling.
I will do. Okay, thank you. I'm going to turn you off now.
All right.
So,
good.
David,
Presentation.
hi, David, can you program that there to with information
You will be able to,
to
yes.
answer specific questions?
This is just a developmental thing. I just thought it was really cool. So I mean,
Oh, okay.
it's yes, it is. It is meant for conversation. So you can. It's for fundamentally for telephone conversations or for help desks and things. You give it all the parameters. You put in loads of documents and things. You don't need to record anything. You just put a load of sort of documents or PDFs or whatever with the information, and then it can base its there. But it's very personable, you know, and it can, you know, it seems very quite chatty, and it will just keep the conversation going forever because it will just keep coming back to you and asking you another question, you know, just to get you talking. So
Is that similar to the one that Adam was using on Friday, David?
yeah, only his wasn't that great. This is it's a little we went to a network meeting last week and this guy Adam, he's got it's like a little box essentially, isn't it? So it's just a little box that fits into your phone line and it will take all your calls and chat. But I found it had a massive gap between you asking a question or answering and the next bit, which you know, it wasn't trying to hide the fact it was an AI. It would tell you it was an AI, but it was like it was a bit stunted. You know, there was big gaps between the.
It's too slow.
It's not ready yet.
Yeah, yeah. But this demo seems to be pretty quick. So it's conversational speech generation. So
that's interesting. I'll have a look at that.
Yeah, there's I don't know what practical application. I mean, I haven't looked it up, so I don't know what practical applications it'll end up in. But yeah, I think it's as a demo, it looks pretty good. So so I like that. I was going to talk about Nova, but there's no point. Nova is Amazon's AI, but it's only available in America at the moment. So we're I'm not really going to waste much time. It does look like they're sort of getting into the game, you know, a bit more. Share. I'll start sharing again because the next thing I want to do. Okay, they've got 5 different things. So they're pretty much trying to do everything at once. So they're doing it's got an LLM, got three versions of that. They've got Canvas, which is the image generation, and they've got video generation as well. So, but we've got no idea what they're like. So we've got no. They're only accepting customers in the US, and it's just the back end at the moment. It's not a. They haven't got a customer. I don't think they've got the computational power to handle being like ChatGPT or something, you know. So that's something worth doing now. Right. This is something blogging. I know, I mean, most of our blogs are quite short, but this was I said that this is using the deep research facility. Now, I was going to compare them with Gemini and ChatGPT, but I did the Gemini one and I ran out of time, and it was 10 to 10. So I was just, again, it's something else that I just looked at sort of fairly recently, and I thought, oh yeah, I'll do that, and I've written it down and I'm not actually managed to do it, but I did one, and this I've just done the Gemini side, not the ChatGPT. So this is the deep research. I want to write a blog to compare and contrast the video generations websites. So Kling, Runway, Sora, and Luma Labs, because those are the 4 that I'm interested in. I could have added some more into there, because yeah, because there are more than that, but I just quickly did it. So those were the first 4 that came into my head. So I did it, and it produced this platform comparison blog. So it's written like a 5,000 word blog. To put a table in there with the price comparison. It took about 10 minutes, which is not that long, because it went off. It says, I'm going to find all the websites. I'm going to find out. I didn't do it live because I knew it would take forever, or I thought it might take forever. So and it's come up with Kling, you know, and it's got these. It's giving opinions as well, you know, about each one, and of course it's quite a long post, but this for the end of a blog is awesome. It's got all the sources there, look. So it's got 91 sources.
Wow.
And if you put that at the end of your blog, I mean, Google loves that shit, doesn't it? So, you know, like having sort of references to
like outbound links off blog posts.
Yeah.
You have to make sure that all the references are valid though.
Yeah.
Because one of the things I've found with some of these AI things is that when you check the references, there are placeholders, like made up references to support what they're saying.
Right. Okay. Well, in that case, I mean, if you sort of, when you first do it, it might be worth. I mean, I'm looking at them in the bottom left-hand side of my screen, and they all look like valid links, like luminalabs.ai/API.
Yeah, they always do look like valid links, but they're not. Sometimes when you go to them,
Right. Okay.
they don't exist.
All right. I'll bear that in mind. Thanks, Shirley. I'll have a look at those and make sure. Bit of a task to click on 91 links and see if they're valid or not. So I hope they are. I'll pick out, you know, a couple of dozen or something and have a go with that. So so I thought that was pretty good. It's not perfect as a blog. So all we did here is I say, can you create a compelling introduction, key takeaways, an FAQ, and a conclusion? Also, format the sources so they can be pasted into a WordPress blog. So it's done just that. It's written me an introduction, a key takeaway, so I can put those at the top of the blog, so people know, they say sort of tell them what they're going to read, and then put the thing in the middle, and then at the end you tell them what they've read. So so it's got the FAQs there after the post. I would put that, and then your conclusion, and then it's put all your sources in there as well. So it took about 15 minutes to create a blog. This is the blog. I created this on ChatGPT. I just posted the title, Kling versus Runway versus Sora versus Lumen Labs, a deep dive into AI. I said, create me an image for this. And this is what it came up with. I could probably do better, but I didn't have any time. But the other thing about 4.0 images is the spelling's pretty spot on as well, which is never used to happen. So that's okay. It's given me the logos of them, and it's done a pretty good job. So then it's I would format this a bit, and that there's American spelling in here, and again, but the references have got the links down the bottom, but the links there as well. These are not linked at the moment. Again, I can sort that out. That's not a problem. But it's come out. It's a pretty in-depth blog with lots of great words in there, and the links are not linked, but it's listed the links, and these references, it's got a 98 in there, but these references are in the article as well, the actual numbers. So
it'll be interesting to diarise a note for 2, 4, 6 weeks ahead, just to see if it's picking up, if you're getting visibility under anything in there in search results.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Because there's this whole thing of, are Google going to penalize stuff that's AI generated? Aren't they? What's actually happening? So it's good for an experiment before you do it for your whole website, isn't it?
Yeah. Because you would still, I mean, I would normally edit this in an era where video content reigns supreme. I mean, the very first extract, the very first bit, you think that's AI, you just know it immediately, don't you?
But you
you
start
could
that paragraph at the ability to effortlessly transform.
Yeah.
Or you could just leave it like that and just see what happens over a period of weeks to see if it does take it exactly like that. Perfectly okay.
Yeah, because my I haven't got that many blogs on my website, but the number of hits I've had lately has seemed to have gone up quite a lot. I'm getting about 106. I'm getting about 160 visitors a day, and before I wasn't getting that a month.
Yeah,
So,
mostly people interested in Victorian women with their chests hanging out, probably.
that's not on there. That's on coppersnob.com.
Oh, okay.
So you have to it's which I generated that website in a blink of an eye as well, because I was just wanted to get something up and running. So but I'll probably change that around. So yeah, so I think that deep research thing that I was kind of just skirting around for a few weeks when it came out looks like it could be quite useful, in producing an in-depth blogs.
Yeah.
I see you still got the old Dom bot down there.
Oh yeah, I must get rid of him.
Yeah, good luck getting into America.
He's probably the most unpopular man in the world outside America. So I definitely need to get rid of him. I am here to help. There's was it Ronald Reagan said the phrase you should be frightened of most in all the world is when somebody from the government says, "I'm here to help." There's so I think that was it. So yeah, so I think that was that was quite, from my very short experiment, my which was didn't even start it till 9:30 or after 9:30 this morning. I thought that was pretty good. So I mean, it's something I'd written down, but I thought it was, you can refine it and you can use it for different things, but for in-depth stuff, I mean, it probably, I mean, I wouldn't be doing it for like with my clients who I create blogs for, it may not be suitable for that because we just do like shorter sort of 600 word blogs and things, you know. So
It was a bit of a deep dive, wasn't it?
yeah, and it's not. Again, is it readable? I haven't really read it, so
This is
I've
where
got
I come in.
yeah. I've got a feeling it's a bit dry, you know, and no one's gonna read a 5,000 page blog. So you're only in there for the keywords for the
I
Google.
mean, Google likes long form content, but you do have to mix, for every one long form, you need to be doing 3 or 4 short form,
Yeah, yeah,
So the classic 500 to 700 words, all in readable format, so shorter paragraphs and
exactly. Yeah,
that's what I do with Sploggy. So
yeah. Oh yeah, definitely the 600 worder. Yeah, like you say, with broken up into the headings.
yeah, and H1s and H2s and
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah,
that. So
yeah. That's the thing people are more likely to read for sure. You know, because if I saw that, it would just be a massive wall of text. I thought I ain't got time for that shit, and I just wouldn't
yeah,
read.
good luck doing an audio version for it.
I know. It's well, you'd have to do little sections and then join it all up, and it would. It's possible though, I suppose. And if someone's walking through the woods or something, they might be.
Yeah, well, actually, with one of my blogging clients, so I've got an accountant I blog for. In fact, he's my accountant, but I've been blogging with him for years. And I met somebody networking, says, "Oh, I get the mailer every Monday and Thursday, just before I go out and walk the dog. So what I do is I open up the blog post, hit the audio player, and listen to it while I'm walking the dog."
Hmm,
I just thought, oh, that's a really good use of the technology. So
yeah, yeah. Because yeah, I think that's pretty good. I think
mm.
that's what it's. I think that's what the audio versions. I mean, apart from the fact Google likes the audio versions being there because of accessibility. um, right, you know.
Well, the other thing I'm doing with News Blogger is I'm creating a video to put onto YouTube for every blog post that I create. So I've got the image, and then I've just got an audio visualizer overlaid on it in the video, and then I've got the audio version as well.
Right.
So
Yeah.
just combine them together, export it into MP4, and I've got all the text I need to put it straight onto YouTube, and then I schedule it for 9 o'clock the next morning when I
Right,
publish the
okay.
blog.
That's fantastic because I was reading that YouTube are the number one podcast platform as well now.
Yeah.
You know, so it's
But I always link back so that I have a little piece of text that it's got the summary, so basically the opening paragraph of the blog post. It's
mm,
got hashtags on it, and it's got a link back to the original blog post. So
yeah.
if you put that in the description, you've got basically all the bases covered.
Mm.
So you've got the
And
video.
you could post them as podcasts on podcast platforms as well. You know, I mean, there
Could
are things
do.
to automate that, and there are, you know, because there's podcasts are quite big business as well because there's
Yeah,
lots
I'm
of
just going to
people
stick with
making.
YouTube because it's like one of the biggest search engines in the world. So,
Exactly, yeah.
you
Yeah,
know.
YouTube is obviously right up there, you know. And but there are lots of podcasts, and as if more and more people are using YouTube, people are going to be looking for podcasts on YouTube as well. So it's, but I mean, I still use other. I mean, Spotify is quite big, but I do have Spotify, but I don't. Um, I never listen to podcasts on there. I just use the Apple app, the Apple
Mm.
Podcast app. So I think that's yeah. So it's exciting times. So I think yeah, I hadn't thought about what you just said actually. I think that's a brilliant idea. I think
Hmm.
that's going to be
Well, I've already got all the content. I just drop it into Filmora and create it. So it's just
yeah,
an
yeah,
extra step in the blogging process, and it takes me 5 minutes.
yeah. And would that
So
be like if your users come along and this blog it, they just key in their own, they would just log into YouTube,
yeah, so okay,
manually
so
do it, or would it actually?
Splogit, the whole Splogit system, the user doesn't log into. Okay, they don't need to because I'm just producing content for them. But when I send them the approval link to email to say, here's your blog post, it's just been published, it's been shared to my channels, here's the link for the URL podcast version.
Okay.
You know, and if there's a mail has gone out, it's got all that as well. So you can see it all before you approve it. But on publication day, if you want to share the blog post, but you might want to share the YouTube video instead.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's okay. Yeah, because it would be because users could build up their own like podcast channel, couldn't they? With
Yeah, I mean they can download the video. That's not a problem if they wanted to and upload it to their own channel. Or I think in a channel you can actually link to other videos. I don't know. I'm not doing it for that. Really, I'm just building up my own channel.
Yeah, no, I mean people have to have other content, but if they build up to I just with my monetization head on.
Well, that's it. If I can get
You
it
need
to
4,000.
monetize,
You only need 4,000 hours of view time, but which it sounds a lot, doesn't it? But it's not. It's not really. The biggest problem is getting the 1,000 subscribers. That's the biggest. Every YouTuber will say it's getting the subscriptions is the tough bit, not the
yeah.
there. So I think that's
Whether it monetizes or not, I don't really care. It's all about building an archive of blog posts or audio.
Yeah, because as I said before, it's about it's about who sees your video, who sees your videos.
Yeah, and then they'll click through possibly and link back to the original blogs.
Yeah. I said before, if you only get 10 people a week looking at your video, if 2 of those turn into paying customers for one of your services, it would be awesome, well worth it, so depends on your conversion rate to customers, doesn't it? So it's yeah, that's good. Okay. I don't think we've got time to do much else actually. So there's pretty much gone down most of AI Magic X. Did we talk about that before? I've made a note of it, but I haven't actually put a link in there. So I know they've it's a suite of tools. The other one quickly I thought was, I did mention it last time. It was Chat LLM Teams. It's apps.abacus.ai. Let me just very, very, very quickly share this because I was before I was thinking, oh, it's a waste of time, but it's about £8 a month or $10, I think. But you can use Kling, like video generation. You can use the latest models and you get quite a lot. You get more than your money's worth. So you can use almost there are lots of tools. It's abacus.ai, but there are lots of tools on here. And I'll leave it at that. They've got image generation, video generation, and things like if you went to Kling and paid your monthly subscription, if you're not a huge, if you're a big user, then obviously it wouldn't be worth it, or you would need to top this up. But I mean, you get more than your money's worth. If you just used it for Kling and then just used every single token on this, you would get more than if you went to Kling themselves. The only problem with it is that it takes a little bit longer to generate than it does on Kling. Takes about 30 to 60 seconds, whereas it takes like about 5 minutes on there. But it's if you're doing lots of different AI stuff, it's worth considering just paying the one subscription. Because
I want to pay for a subscription that lets me go somewhere. Like I've mentioned this before, I'm going to type in exactly what I want, and it will go and it will tell me what's there for free, what's there not free, etc., etc. And it's constantly curating what's out there.
Yeah.
On the AI side of things, that's something I'd definitely pay for.
Yeah. That'd be an interesting thing. Perhaps a thing for deep research.
Yeah.
And then
I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to take on that baton. No.
And then do
if you could do it.
get it to write the code for you so that it updated the website.
No, it's a Steffi job.
Yeah, a proper
I'm
coder.
actually thinking about how to do it. I mean,
Yeah,
turning around in my brain, how would you do that?
yeah, a proper coder. Anyway, thanks for coming along, guys. As always, I'll post this video online at some point. Let me just